Channel mixers. This is something that I think will come really in handy, especially for, well, any kind of illustrator, textile designer, surface pattern designer, you know, anyone that requires an image, watercolorists, just anyone. I think it takes a little time to get your head around, but once you do, it's really useful. So we have a nice ice cream here. I've already made the selection to save time on the video. So if you right click and select pixels, we're going to change the color of this top ice cream scoop. So we're going to go into our adjustment layers here, click on that, oops, sorry, click on the ice cream image, click on our adjustment layers and click channel mixer. So what we want to do first is make sure that this channel mixer only affects the layer below. So we do that by going Command Alt G or Control Alt G if you're on the PC. Right, so this window is going to come up. So we have a pink ice cream. This image is made out of CMYK, so there's probably blue in there. So with the cyan drop down menu, we're going to remove cyan from the image. So you can see that's gone really bright now. So you can, there's definitely magenta in there, so you can knock that down too. So if we knock that down to there. So the reason you still got cyan, yellow and black, even though it's a magenta drop down, is I can add in magenta where there's cyan in the image. So this is the image and this is the color that you're adding or removing. So wherever there's cyan, so we're on the magenta drop down, so wherever there's cyan in that little image there, we're going to add in magenta. And then wherever there's yellow in the image, we're going to add in magenta again to make it really dark pink. Obviously, you know, you want to less is more and all that, so you don't want to be pushing it too far because obviously no one's going to believe that's an ice cream. It doesn't even fit in with the color balance and things, so you want to make it nice. So if we went back to cyan, let's say, so there's no cyan, so wherever there's magenta in this image, we're going to add in cyan, and that makes it purple. So even though you're moving the magenta, you're actually increasing the cyan, because it's wherever there's magenta in the image, we're adding cyan. This does take a little while of getting used to, so I suggest you do it a good few times just to have a good go. You can do it with the black as well, whatever this, so you can really make it a goth ice cream now. Whatever happened to goths? Are they still about? I don't know. Anyway. You just don't see many anymore. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so have a little go, see what you think. Another thing that you can do is click this monochrome button. So let's put this back to its default. So it was 0 there, 100, 0. If you click on the monochrome, this is just works in greys now. So wherever there's cyan, it's going to add in grey. Whenever there's magenta, it's going to add in grey. Whether there's yellow, it's going to add in grey. So quite good if you want to work just in black and white. But yeah, that will just be made out of K. So it's just made out of key color here. Yeah. Annoyingly, that one of the things I don't really like about it is if you unclick, it still keeps it black and white. I'd kind of prefer it if it moved it back to colors, but it's just a case of undoing. So this also has a So say we want to make this more of a purple or something. Zoom in. This also has a clipping mask attached to it. So if you haven't watched the clipping mask video and that doesn't make sense to you, I would watch that first. So with the paintbrush, you can actually paint in. Let's go soft. You can actually paint in. So if you wanted the rest of this ice cream to be purple as well, you can actually paint that in. Or if you decide that that's not right for you and you don't want to live that purple ice cream life, because what flavor ice cream would purple ice cream be anyway, you can do that. So it's a pretty editable, channel mixer, like with the other, sort of any other channel mixer. One other way of doing it is if you've got quite clean pen work. So let's say you've got pen work here and you've done a nice image. You can use a channel mixer to change the color of the inkwork, which is quite cool. So we'll put the channel mixer in. We're just affecting the layer below. Let's say you had, you can do that with anything. So if you had 3 or 4 different artworks that you wanted them all affected, and you put them all in a group, in a folder, like for instance, so that will affect all the, so if you do, why isn't that working? Yeah, there you go. So if this little arrow is showing, it shows that it's affecting the layer below. So if you were to do that to this layer here, it would affect everything in that group. So it would affect all the layers within the channel, within the folder, sorry. So with this, you've got a little guy here. So this image is probably made out of, so you can see basically nothing is happening when I remove the cyan. So there's no cyan in there. There's no magenta, because this is probably a black and white image. So there's no yellow in there either. I'm not sure what happens with the minus. I still haven't found how you can minus 0%. I'm not quite sure how that works. But anyway, with the black, you can remove the image. So this is made out of black, and this is just a black and white image. So it's gone because you've removed all the black from the black drop down. But let's say you want to make it blue, whenever there's black in the image, we're going to add in cyan, and now you've got your beautiful line work piece is now cyan, and that's easily editable. If you want it to be a darker, or you can just do it in yellow, make it a nice green, whatever you want to do with it. I hope that makes sense with that. If it doesn't, feel free to contact me and let me know, and I'll explain further and do a large video.